So our presenters today, Jared Houghton, Ambition co-founder and chief sales officer. He's helped tons of sales teams help motivate their sales force around goals, recognition, and incentives. Me, Jeremy Boudinais, who I'm just kind of hosting for today, and Morgan Chaney, who's the head of marketing for Blueboard and who we've worked with a ton in the past and has a really awesome product and a really awesome perspective on helping motivate salespeople. All right, so making the most of today's webinar, we encourage you to ask any questions via the chat box. You can just go in, just type them in, and we'll see them, and we'll happily address those as part of the Q&A at the end. Feel free to share anything you've learned that's interesting over Twitter or LinkedIn, or you can tweet at us or follow us at Ambition Sales or at Blueboard. All right, so I'm going to pass it off now to our CSO, Jared Houghton, who's going to start by giving you the background of today's presentation.
Hey folks, Jared Houghton here, excited to be doing the webinar today. Let's start with why we're here. For many on the call today, your quarter two is likely wrapping up in the next 16 and a half business days. Definitely know that ours is. My hope is that we can hit on some tactics and strategy for finishing this quarter strong, as well as carrying these principles into future quarters. So let's start with part of the problem. CSO Insights finds that 45% of sales reps are falling short of their quotas. There are many reasons leading to this, of course. For example, lack of sales training, competition in deals, and maybe lack of leadership. But a big part of this is a lack of motivation and engagement. Here we see some engagement stats by the numbers. We see that 20% of reps are actively disengaged while at work. Another 51% classified as unengaged. That leaves only 29% of your reps engaged while on the clock. Here we see a dollar value associated with the disengaged reps. Lack of motivation leads to a number of things, such as dissatisfaction, poor performance, and poor customer service. The estimated cost to U.S. businesses every year is said to be roughly $550 billion. So we've seen that reps are falling short of their quotas. We've seen that 70% are not engaged while at work, and we've seen the massive amount of capital this is costing our companies. Now let's dive into basically how to hedge against this. On the webinar today, we're going to break this down into three sections. First, we'll look at setting clear goals and how to use contests. Then Morgan is going to walk us through meaningful incentives and development and purpose. Let's start with clear goals. Many of you probably set up your 2016 quarterly plans in quarter four of last year. It's important to take a proactive look at this. As I mentioned, there's only 16 and a half business days left this quarter. So if John Smith, let's call him hypothetical sales rep, had a goal of hitting 8K in recurring revenue this month, that was set, again, quarter four last year, but only has 5K in forecasted pipeline, you must tweak the plan to optimize for a more realistic and attainable quarter-end number. I'd recommend an immediate one-on-one where you inspect pipeline and get him to commit to a goal that is more attainable. This will both motivate him to motivate and engage him to reach a now foreseeable and attainable goal. Upon getting John aligned with the new plan, I'd encourage deploying some sort of contest. Common examples that any organization can deploy include things like spiffs, maybe a leaderboard, be it on the whiteboard or maybe a TV PowerPoint. And lastly, you should send regular updates on progress and pace towards goal attainment. And I think the most important thing you can do is to celebrate the success publicly. These next few slides will discuss how Ambition automates this for sales organizations. Again, Ambition's main focus is to drive accountability, visibility, competition, and recognition across the sales team. This will, of course, bring focus and clarity to KPIs, benchmarks, and sales process, drive adoption of key systems, and increase engagement and ownership of the sales process. Let's look at how Ambition solves these problems. Ambition does this by integrating with your data systems. For most sales organizations, this means usually CRM and phone system. For example, you might use Salesforce.com and Cisco phones. Ambition integrates with those. And from there, Ambition displays real-time KPI information to, number one, drive rep accountability to hitting metrics, and two, provide leadership with actionable data to coach, train, and motivate their teams to hitting their goals. Here's a look at a few different features Ambition uses to drive this metric accountability. Through leaderboards, automated competitions, manager dashboards, and personalized recognition, Ambition is able to drive bottom-up buy-in from the sales team. Remember that 70% of disengaged reps we discussed? Ambition's entire purpose is to move their performance to be more like that of your higher performers. And on the right side here, you actually see Ambition's impact to West Corporation, where they saw a 46% increase in productivity across all cohorts of the sales team. So some of the, you have bottom performers, middle performers, and top performers. We were actually able to engage all of them and increase productivity by 46%. Lastly, here I want to hit on an example of a company that adopted the Ambition framework. The Harvard Business Review actually profiled the success. This is with Clayton Homes. And they found that Clayton was able to increase calls by 18%, double calls that led to appointments, and increase transferred calls by 800%. And lastly, that led to a 200% increase to people actually visiting their retail stores. That was the biggest number they were optimizing for. And when one of the reps was interviewed, he said it wasn't just about carrot and stick motivation, but rather about prolonged discipline. So whether you use a tool like Ambition or deploy, Excel, maybe a whiteboard, maybe the sales gong on the floor, there's lots of ways to clearly set the expectations of your team and to re-engage and kind of, change the goals for the team to really optimize to maximize, your end of month or your end of quarter. With that, I think I'll kick it over to Morgan to take over with point number 2.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining, and I'm really excited to dig into how meaningful incentives build energy amongst your sales team. The benefits: generating excitement by offering something that's above and beyond your team's standard comp, assigning real value to your team's efforts, and showing appreciation for their above and beyond performance. And appreciation most certainly pays off. We read through a recent study that showed that the #1 motivator of great work wasn't increased pay or new promotion. It was actually just to be recognized. So when we think of incentives, the first things that come to mind are often things like cash, gift cards, company shares, or maybe those really special swag items. But while these are popular, we have to ask ourselves, are they actually meaningful? Think of the last time you received cash or a gift card for a job well done. What did you do with it? Most likely, you might have bought some groceries, paid off some credit card debt. Nice, but not really that meaningful. Meaningful rewards are what truly drive motivation, build real excitement, and ultimately will help you attain those really aggressive goal targets. So what makes an incentive meaningful? When thinking about meaningful sales incentives programs, standard cash or gift card rewards just aren't effective. A few factors to keep in mind. And actually, Jeremy, if you want to bump up one previous slide, that would be great. Sorry. So the first thing, incentives should be memorable, something your employees will keep with them and talk about for years to come. Incentives should be personal and individualized because not everyone is motivated by the same thing. So your rewards should be tailored to your team's own desires and needs. And incentives should be shareable, something they can get excited about and share with their teammates back at the office, helping to build up positive morale. And lastly, incentives should reflect your company values. They should feel authentic and support the long-term health of your company. So if cash and gift cards are off the table, what are the other options? Have you considered experiences? Experiences are great because they're inherently memorable. Think back to the last time you did something really special with a friend or a loved one. I'll bet that event meant more to you and stayed with you longer than when that last cash bonus hit your bank account. Experiences are personal. Everyone on your team has their own unique hobbies, passions, and aspirations. We offer a wide catalog of experiences for them to pick from. I've put a few of our favorites posted to social media here on the screen. Employees sharing memories from a Blueboard snorkeling trip, a glass blowing class, or even just one of those much-needed date nights. At Blueboard, we offer your employees choice and variety to ensure that they redeem their most valuable and exciting experience, or we welcome them to dream up something completely custom. And lastly, experiences are really shareable. It's the reason why our clients like GoPro, Eventbrite, and Chick-fil-A came on board. They wanted their incentives to blow up employee Instagram feeds. And they wanted their employees to want to come in early on a Monday to share all of the details of their weekend adventure. Can you remember the last time someone on your team humble bragged about maybe an Amazon gift card? There's probably a good chance it's still collecting dust in their drawer as we speak. So I'd love to show you a few of our favorites. Let me know on chat if there's any experiences that you'd love to pick. Go ahead, Jeremy, one more slide. So maybe you have a few foodies on your team. We actually just sent a couple to French Laundry in Sonoma, which has not 2, but actually 3 Michelin stars. It was an amazing way to celebrate their 10th anniversary. Or maybe your team's made up of younger millennials who are a bit more adventurous. I bet they'd love kiteboarding or even skydiving. Or for those who just want to relax and unwind or maybe treat their family, they can enjoy VIP tickets to the game or a personal spa day. And for that top performer who really wants to go all out, we can make them Bond, James Bond. A full day of jumping out of planes, driving fast cars, and learning how to mix that perfect martini. So hopefully we're getting the creative juices flowing a bit as you think about which incentives or rewards will really be the most exciting for your crew. And the best part is they're incredibly easy to deliver. Our platform actually allows you to send an experiential reward with literally just one click. We're pretty sure that's easier than running to the store to buy a stack of gift cards, right? You'll simply choose from one of our 8 reward levels you'll see across the top, share a note about your employee's achievement with the option to link to a company value, enter their contact info, and then just hit send. They'll receive an email with details on how to redeem the reward, and we'll also arm you with printed gift cards or printed cards so you can share an additional handwritten note. So now we'll move on to the last key motivator, development and purpose, which has lasting gains beyond the sales quarter. I'm talking about helping your team to really develop and grow in their roles, deepening their connection to the company and their overall sense of purpose. Increasingly popular with millennial employees is the need to feel that their work is really valued and that they have a path for continued success. A recent Deloitte study actually shared that more than 6 in 10 millennials, 63%, said their leadership skills are not being fully developed. What better way to motivate your employees than supporting their long-term development and knowledge base? A few easy ways to bring this to life include senior leadership shadow days, where you allow your teammates to tag along for your key meetings, mentor-mentee programs matching older generations with millennial talent, maybe granting access to strategic trainings or conferences, or giving them the opportunity to take on 20% projects, which was made popular by Google, either in support of cross-functional initiatives or projects typically assigned to more senior teammates. So let's put all of these new ideas into action. We'll take a minute to spotlight the success of Lauren Hobson, Sales and Tactical Marketing Manager at Cellmark. So last year, Lauren had a very ambitious sales goal, $34 million hanging over her head. And as the end of the year approached, she needed to ramp up energy and momentum to close out her year strong. She enlisted ambition to run an 11-week fantasy football-themed sales contest, complete with weekly head-to-head matchups, leaderboards, and all with the ability to measure rep performance amongst a clear set of KPIs. And the award at the end? Blue Board rewards ranging up to $1,000 for each of the top reps. Not only did the contest and juicy incentive drive motivation, Lauren's team closed out her year with an amazing 18% year-over-year growth. You're welcome to watch more of her story on our website at blueboard.com. All right, thanks so much for everyone who joined today. Let's quickly wrap this up. So if nothing else, what should you walk away with? First, disengaged sales reps can cost you way more than just your quarterly quota. And as a leader, it's your job to really motivate your team towards the quarter close. Secondly, games not only promote healthy and fun competition, but also allow your reps to track towards key performance metrics. Third, make sure your sales incentives are designed to meet the varied interests of your employees. Ask yourself, is my recognition program memorable? Is it personal or shareable? And does it align with the values my company stands for? And lastly, seek new ways to develop your employees. It'll give them a renewed feeling of value and purpose and promote your long-term retention goals.